There are four criteria in the IELTS examination. One is task achievement, then you have coherence and cohesion, lexical resource, grammatical range, and accuracy. Now let me explain all the four. And today we'll be talking about a topic that's very important to people seeking greener pastures in an English-speaking country. Let's talk about the IELTS examination. This episode will give you an overview of the IELTS examination, who needs to take it, and what are the essentials in the IELTS examination. So the International English Language Testing System, or more commonly known as the IELTS examination, is one of the toughest examinations conducted by the University of Cambridge, co-managed by the British Council and IDP-IELTS Australia. This certificate is recognized in 90 different countries, English-speaking countries like Australia, New Zealand, USA, the UK, Ireland, and many other American and British territories. So the International English Language Testing System is a language examination designed to assess the language ability of candidates who need to study, work, migrate, live in an English-speaking country. So this is an examination that tells how well you can make use of the language in four different skills: the listening, the reading, writing, and speaking components. So this examination is gauged from 0 to 9. 0 is given to those who never attempted to take the examination, and 9 is for those proficient users of the language. 9 is an expert user, 8 is a very good user, and 7 is a good user. For most, 7 is the required scores, especially for professionals wanting to work in the UK, the US, New Zealand, or Australia, especially for nurses. Now, there are two different types of the examination: the academic and the general training exam. The academic examination are for those people wanting to do further studies, or if not, register their profession and be able to work in an English-speaking country. Say, for example, if an individual wants to do master's degree or further studies in an English country, like in the UK, then they need to take the academic exams. For those medical professionals like doctors, dentists, medical technologists, nurses, and let's say for those engineers, teachers, and all other professionals who wish to register their profession in an English-speaking country to have their licenses to be able to work in a specific country, they need to take the academic examination. On the other hand, for those who wish to migrate in an English-speaking country, they need to take the general training tests. This is mainly for training purposes or for immigration purposes. Now, just so you'd understand, why do they have to divide it into two examinations, academic and general training? Basically, the academic examination covers, let's say, geology, astronomy. It can talk about horticulture. It can talk about um, nanoscience, and it can talk about the arts. So it can talk about many varied points that can be discussed further in an academic perspective. Whereas for general training, that's why it's general training, because it's an examination that will gauge how well you can adapt or how well you can make use of the language in a more practical setup. So just so you'd understand better, let's say for the reading examination, the academic examination may have topics regarding the microbes in Mars. It can be about archaeological findings in Giza. As for general training, it can talk about instructional guide on how to use a microwave. It can talk about instructions on how to get to the city center. Sometimes it can even talk about conversations in a hotel or in a restaurant. So that's the main point why there should be a level of difference between the academic and general training. So, general training, practical, academic examination, more scholastic. All right. When IELTS started, there were only two classifications, the academic and the general training. Now it is subdivided into the regular IELTS exam or the UKVI examination. Now, the regular IELTS examination and the UKVI basically is just the same format, same type of exam, same materials, same examiners, same venue, same everything. The main difference there is the pricing. UKVI is slightly more expensive compared to the regular IELTS. The regular, the UKVI examination also is more expensive only because it goes through a more stringent security process where in the actual examination there are video cameras, your performances in the speaking and in the written examinations are recorded in cameras, and invigilators have recording devices with them, whereas in regular IELTS these items or gadgets are not necessary. Now, why are there security measures? This is very important so that the IELTS examination can be recognized as an examination that has passed the standards of the United Kingdom Visas and Immigration. So that's UKVI. Now, many people would say that the UKVI is more difficult compared to the regular one. Actually, no, it's really just the same. Even the questions are just the same. It's just about the examination um, passing the standards of the immigration, visa and immigration of the UK. Now, the thing as well is that the USA, the United Kingdom, Australia, Canada, New Zealand, they can all take the UKVI examination. It is recognized, even if it's a UKVI exam, it is recognized in the USA, it's recognized in New Zealand, and it's recognized anywhere else. But for those specifically targeting on getting to the UK, cannot make use of the regular IELTS for immigration purposes in the UK. So they can only make use of the UKVI IELTS. So in general, people take targeting all countries can take the UKVI, but professionals targeting the UK, they just need to take the UKVI, and they cannot take the regular, or they cannot make use of their regular IELTS certificate for their immigration. The regular IELTS certificate, just to clarify, can be used in their professional registration, but not for immigration. Say, for example, for nurses, if they have a regular IELTS examination certificate, they can make use of that in their registration professionally for the in the Nursing and Midwifery Council in the UK. But they need to take another IELTS examination for the UKVI component, which only requires a lesser score. All right. Now, the IELTS examination also for UKVI has that the other parts of the UKVI, which includes UKVI academic, general training, and life skills. Each candidate applying has specific requirements. So if you are a candidate going somewhere else, please verify it with your consultancies or your agencies, or research about it as to what really is specifically needed for you. Say, for example, for those going into a university, studying other degree in a different country, you need to make sure what is the specific requirement or what type of exam is needed for you to get in that university. So they have different levels or scores required. Generally speaking, for professionals, I'm mainly talking about nurses. If you are a nurse and you wish to work in New Zealand, you need 7 all in all components: listening, reading, writing, and speaking, and overall 7. That same goes as true for Australia, for APRA, and for Nursing Council of New Zealand. Now, for those wanting to work in the UK and register in NMC, you need to have 7 in all components except for writing, because just last November 2018, they've already modified the score and lowered it down to 6.5 in writing. So the UK NMC is now accepting 6.5 for writing. In the US, it's really different because for all professionals, may it be physical therapists, nurses, occupational therapists, medical scientists, they are required to hit an overall score, overall band score, or the OBS. They need to get 6.5, but they need to specifically get a 7 in their speaking examination. Regardless of whatever is the score for the listening, reading, and writing, they have to just specifically target a 7 for speaking. But of course, you need to aim a higher score in all the rest of the other components so you can reach an overall band score of 6.5. Is that clear?